For this project, I started with a project that I found on GitHub that was originally based around the animation of two characters, one of which had a moving head. I changed it so that the user can change the 3D background and move the characters around by changing the camera. As you can see, it starts with the main game loop here that updates the area, plays the sound, and renders everything that needs to be on the screen. So if we go into here and then into here, we come to this point where the camera is set up, the lighting is set up, and the characters are drawn to the screen. So if we start with the camera, this is mostly done in this camera header file here. So what's happening down here is it's the code for moving the camera around the skybox, so it makes it look like the characters are in a 3D environment. And what's happening up here is the camera actually being moved around to make it look like the characters are moving around themselves. If we now go into the mesh file, this is where the characters being drawn, setting up the mesh, the vertices, indices, and the bones are in here. The bones are just something that were in the original project, as it's something that Asimp needs to animate the characters. And then we go into model. What we've got in here was the original code. I haven't changed any of this, which just basically makes the skeleton move. We've got the rotation of the head here, which is done on the 1, 2, 3, 4 keys, and then we've got the load model function here, which explains what's happening here, but it's just again using the bones to animate the characters. If we go to the skybox now, this is basically a skybox is a big cube that the camera sits in the middle of. It consists of 6 separate images, each one put onto one of the sides of the cube to create a single texture. So the images come in down here. The texture is created with this create cube texture function, and this is called every time the user changes what they want the background to be, which is done on the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 keys. So when the user presses one of those keys, the skybox will change, the environment that the characters are in will change, and the user can move the camera around to make it look like a 3D environment. One of the main issues I had with the project was making the characters move around the environment, and I kind of solved this by just moving the camera instead of moving the actual characters. But other than that, everything went pretty smoothly, and that concludes my video report.